Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Welcome to Loveday Bakes. It is the start of the Christmas series. And in this very festive series, we are going to be learning, we're going to be experimenting, we're going to be creating together, embracing all things festive and making them into something edible. Merry little creations. Merry. Or rest in peace. I'm Harry, I'm a pastry chef. I'm gonna be on this ride with you. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, come on in. In this giving season, what better time to arrive? What better time to like and subscribe? Maybe just send a little thing my way, little Merry Christmas treat from a little secret Santa out there. And if you are a returning viewer, you know what it is. Welcome back, you're my guys. This is all for you. And don't worry, I will be making maybe a little gingerbread house. And any other suggestions out there, just wait. We're going to get through Christmas and then we'll go back to normal. I had all of these already pre-planned. I'm a Christmas gal. And what's Christmas about? Is it about presents? No. Is it about your loved ones? No. It's about food, obviously. It's about gorging yourself on as much rich food as possible. What better way to start off this festive season than with a cheeky little pastry? Pastry we haven't attempted yet, which I feel like it's a perfect time. It feels festive to me. I don't know why it feels festive to me. Does it feel festive to you?
I could eat them any time, any day, any year.
Have you guys heard of a choux bun? I think you have. Have you heard of a profiterole? I think you have. You've heard of an eclair. I know you have. So, what are all those things composed of? Pate, a choux, also known as cabbage pastry. If you are French, that's what it means. So what is pate au choux? Well, it is a twice cooked pastry, where essentially you're making a roux. So you're taking a liquid flour, you're cooking that, and then you're mixing eggs into it. It's essentially risen by steam. The high moisture content, when you bake it, it puffs up. That steam puffs it up and you get a hollow shell, delicious hollow shell, which you enrich with the butter and the eggs that you're putting into your pastry. And that is then filled with a filling of your choice. Delicious, wonderful. And there are many applications for this. So as I mentioned, you have the eclair, nice long boy. You have a bog standard choux bun, which do like a ball. You have a Paris Brest, which is essentially like a donut shape. And you have my personal favorite, the religious. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, I'm not French. If you've seen the Grand Budapest Hotel, you know what I'm talking about. It's those cute little guys stacked on top of each other. Endless fun, I believe. So today, I'm thinking religious, but make them Christmas. So, do 3 different Christmas themed stacks. So we've got a Christmas tree, we've got a reindeer, and a snowman that we're going to attempt. I hear you going, Harry, you talked a lot about the decoration, what about the flavour? Well, if you don't know, I was on a little show called The Bake Off. The Bake Off Professionals. Not the one that everyone watches, no, it's the other one. For it, we had to do religious, and I did a little stacking dough. The flavour related to the decoration, I did a honey cake. One of my favourite cakes, actually. A multi-layered honey, almost biscuit-like sponge, which you layer with a mascarpone cream, and then you press more of the excess trim on the outside of the crumb, and you let it sit, and it gets moist and delicious. It's so nice. That is what I was inspired by. If you watch the episode, you'll know it doesn't exactly go to plan. This is my redemption. I will be recreating that flavour of choux bun for our religious here today, because it's fucking delicious. Hey, they were like, these little guys really fucked looking, but they taste really good. I was like, nice, I'll take that. Let's just get started. We've got a couple of elements to make. The whole religious is composed of choux pastry, cracklin, which is essentially like a biscuit. I mean, I have made it before in the bagel video. It's like a biscuit that you put over your choux bun, which stops it from looking like a cabbage, basically. It helps retain a nice smooth shape. We're making those 2 for the actual base, and then the filling is a whipped ganache, which you've actually seen me make before. It's a good base whipped ganache recipe. I use it for everything. But this is where it comes from. So we're making that, and we'll be making a burnt honey caramel, which is unreal. That's probably my favorite part of this filling. And then we're making a little cinnamon crumb that we'll put in there, which adds a little crunchy element to it. And then we'll be using some royal icing to decorate. Let's just get started with the choux pastry. Now, choux pastry, super simple. It genuinely is. It seems intimidating, but once you've done it enough times, you'll get what you're doing, okay?
I always thought it's like really difficult.
Okay, I make choux pastry at least twice a week. The process is quite simple. It's just about knowing what you're looking for. So we have 335 ml of water. Then, an important part about your choux pastry is you want to season it like you do any other pastry. I've seen recipes where people just don't put any salt or sugar in. It's like, I know that it's just a puff that you're filling, but that puff's got to taste good. If that puff doesn't taste good, what are you doing? So I've got 7 grams of salt. And we have 15 grams of sugar. That's satisfying. Then here we have 135 grams of unsalted butter in. Now we're going to take this over to the hob. In the meantime, actually, I need to burn some honey. The basis of a honey cake is that you burn your honey. I believe I've done that before. Have I? I think so. So essentially, we're taking our honey and we're cooking it on like a medium temperature until it starts to scorch and smells nutty and like caramel. That's what we're going for. You don't need like a fancy, nice honey. Just any old honey will do. It's like Winnie the Pooh. Oh bother. Piglet was my favorite. Do you remember the Piglet movie? I watched the Piglet movie 3 times a day, every day, for my entire childhood.
You have such a Piglet energy.
So I've got 340 grams. I'm just doing this whole bottle. 340 grams of honey. So we're just going to put that on a medium heat in the back. So what we want to do is we want to melt our butter into our liquid, and then we want to bring it to a little bit of a simmer. So I'll show you that when we get there. So have it on like a lowish heat because you don't want to immediately bring it to a boil before you start melting your butter. In the meantime, you want to get your mixer ready. You can do this by hand. I've done it by hand before at school. Wouldn't recommend. What you want to get is 200 grams of plain flour ready. You'll want a whisk and a spatula, heat-safe spatula, and then you'll want 5 to 6 eggs. You'll go, why 5 to 6? Well, because what we're going to be doing is, once that's melted together, we're going to be whisking in our flour and then cooking it for 2 to 3 minutes on the heat to cook out as much moisture as possible. Then, we're bringing it into our mixer. We're going to be mixing it with some eggs, and the eggs are going to be what we're replenishing that lost moisture with to add more richness, flavor, color, deliciousness, and structure to our pastry. It doesn't always lose the same amount of moisture, so rather than sticking to by the book recipe, you have to use your eyes with choux pastry. And you have to check, do I need more egg, do I need less egg? It will change, it will differ. That is an important part about choux pastry. And I'll show you how to check what to look for. So, butter's all melted, you can see it's starting to bubble. So what I do when I get to this point is count to 30, essentially, 30 seconds. This is just the way that I was always taught to do it. Okay, off. And now, some people are like, sieve it in. Okay, if you try to sieve anything into steaming liquid, guess what's gonna happen? You fucking get stuck in your fucking sieve, so don't bother. Just try and make sure there are no lumps. In. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Try to make sure there are no lumps. Fuck off the whisk. Spatula time. So scrape it all together, just like so. You see, nice smooth paste, but we're not done. Back onto the hob, medium heat. Now, you want to cook this out for about 2 to 3 minutes. So you want to fold it over, smush, 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 smush. Fold, smush. Repeat. Keep it moving. Make sure it's not on too high a heat, because then your butter is just going to piss out. You're essentially going to split it if you get it too hot. You see it starts to create like a fond on the bottom of the pan. You see here? That's how you know you're doing it right. So the honey's bubbling away, it's smelling incredible, but we want it to get to a deeper, darker colour. So just keep that going in the background. You can see this is starting to like form more of one mass as you're cooking those starches. They're kind of binding a bit more.
It's very stressful doing this on Bake Off.
Oh yeah. Good way to check if it's done is you kind of like flop it around. If it stays in one ball, you know you're basically there. Okay, I'm happy with that. We've got a nice cohesive dough. You can see it's got a nice skin on the bottom of the pan. We're going into the bowl of our stand mixer. Then with a paddle, we start to beat it. We're gonna let it cool down for like a minute before we start adding our eggs. Otherwise you risk just having scrambled eggs. I would recommend soaking your pan immediately because it sucks to clean. You see it's like kind of breaks up a lot. That's normal, that's fine, okay? Just gonna turn it down. So you can crack eggs into a bowl. I just like to crack straight in. I have good shell control. That's years of practice. In. Beat one egg in. Do it one at a time, okay? Next. In. You'll see it's like, ew, it's all split. No, you just haven't mixed it long enough, see? It will come together. Turn that down again. I'm gonna go in with one more egg and then we're gonna stop and we're gonna scrape down. Because this is roughly halfway. But again, it depends on size of your eggs, how much moisture you've cooked out, we don't know yet. Choux pastry kind of scrapes the bowl itself. I love it. Okay, you can see at this stage, it's starting to form a really thick paste, but it's a bit too thick. So just scrape everything down, just to make sure we're all evenly incorporated. Let's have a little look at our honey. It's just about getting there. Okay, back to our choux. All right, next egg goes in. So I can see that's still too thick. So I definitely know I need the fifth. It's looking good, but I want to scrape down the sides. See, it's starting to form a bit more of a fluid paste. I think the honey's done. If you can see the difference in colour that it was before, it's nicely, you can smell the nuttiness, it's incredible. So to this, we're gonna add about, let me do some quick math, about 70 grams of water. It's gonna splutter a bit. Or it's not. Fucking egg on my face.
Right, no, look.
See? I put about 50 grams in.
There it is.
There you go. See, she will splutter a bit. That's just reintroducing some of the moisture we lost when we were cooking it out. And we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna use a little bit in our ganache, and then we're gonna use the rest to make our caramel. So just set that aside. Back to this guy. Now, I will show you how to check. So you just wanna make sure everything's just a little bit on the sides. Want to check it's all incorporated. Now, how do you check your choux pastry ready? You get a lump on your spatula and if it should drop easily and should drop into a V like that. I would say 5 eggs is on the money. Okay, you can always add, you can never take back, and I ease on the side of less egg than too much egg, because too much egg means your shape's gonna be terrible. When you pipe it, it's just gonna piss everywhere. So I'd say a little bit firmer, a bit safer. And that's a nice round number, because sometimes I have to crack into like half an egg. Pfft, half an egg? Who has time for that? That's true, you know I love eggs. I would say this amount, let's go for 2 piping bags. Choux pastry keeps really well. I'd say for like 3 to 5 days in the fridge. And also, once you've made choux pastry, I like to let it rest and cool down a bit. It's great to make advance. So you make it, put it in your piping bag, leave it in the fridge. 3 to 5 days. When you're ready, you just pipe it, bake it. Also freeze as well. If I was to make it and then, oh, I've made too much choux pastry, you've had your fancy dinner party where you've made your choux buns and you've impressed all your friends, and then you're like, I've made too much choux pastry, but who am I to eat choux pastry on my own? My next dinner party isn't for months. Well, you pipe all your choux, put it in the freezer, freeze them solid, knock them off a tray, put them in Tupperware. That'll stay in the freezer for like a month or 2. So then you don't have to make it for your next dinner party. And you'll impress all your friends all over again.
You just suck piglet energy.
You really want to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. You know, I've done this once, bag split, gone everywhere. So it can happen when you least expect it. So see, no air bubble. Next bag. The reason why you want to make sure there's no air bubbles is because the mixture, if you feel it, is still a bit warm. And if you have a little pocket, condensation will build. You'll be piping your shoe and all of a sudden a little bit of water will piss out. Not fun. So get a scraper and just... And then I've shown you this before. Different people tie up their piping bags in different ways. I literally just twist and do a little knot. So here you have 2 bags of shoe pastry. And because you've got these in a separate bag, all you have to do is cut this and then we can slip it into another bag with a nozzle, depending on what you want to make. But hey, we're just piping round, so nothing fancy. I'm gonna put these in the fridge just to rest and just to cool down a bit, let it all get to know each other, you know? It's time to make our fillings. Let's start with our caramel. Our honey is cooled down. Because we added that water, it's gone back to a nice honey-like consistency. Now I weighed it up. I've got 250 here. I've taken out 55 grams for our ganache. So we're going to add 305 grams of double cream. This is a really easy caramel to make because you literally just add everything into the same pan you've caramelized your honey. Heat this all together and bring it to 108 degrees Celsius. And that's how we know we've got a good consistency for our caramel. We've got 65 grams of butter here. We're gonna season to taste at the end. Okay, let's go. We're just gonna put this on medium heat, melt it all together. It's literally, you literally just wanna keep an eye on this, stir it a bit, but it's pretty much gonna do its own thing. So we're just gonna leave that like that. For our ganache, I am blooming 4 grams of gelatin. Then I've got 200 ml of whole milk and 190 ml of double cream. So I'm just gonna pour this into a pan and we're going to heat this till it comes to a simmer. Give this a stir. This is a butterscotch-like caramel. It's so good. This is 150 grams of white chocolate, which I have caramelized earlier. To this, I have half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Really brings up the warmth of the caramel in there. Then we've got a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And we've got 55 grams of our burnt honey. So I'm just gonna pop that all in with my chocolate. This is just a really simple whipped ganache. So we'll heat up our cream and milk, add our bloom gelatin, which will just help add more structure. Then we'll pour it into our chocolate, emulsify it, and the last step, as I mentioned earlier, one of the big ingredients in a honey cake is the mascarpone cream. So that will go in right at the end. For our final filling, we have our crumb. This is a recipe I got from Jim. It is his milk crumb, which, as in the title, has milk powder in, which I do not have. But I was thinking, what if I replace the milk powder with glutinous rice flour? Because the milk powder has this sort of chew that adds to it. And I was thinking, what else has that? Mochi. That's just where my brain's going. And we're gonna see if it works. If it doesn't, it's fine. We're blending it into a powder anyway. So we've got 90 grams of plain flour in, 90 grams of caster sugar. Here I have 50 grams of glutinous rice flour and then 25 grams of malt powder. If you know me, you know, it's in everything. Then we've also got a nice pinch of salt and half a teaspoon of cinnamon. This will take a little while. Okay, our cream and milk have heated up. We're gonna take our bloomed gelatin, squeeze all of that water out, get it in, just let it dissolve. I have a new immersion blender and a hand blender. Feels so 60s housewife, so I love it. Let's just check this. Bubbling away nicely. So you just want to keep a thermometer and we're just going to keep checking until it reaches 108. So for our ganache, we're going to pour in our cream and milk, which I bloomed my gelatin into. And we'll give it a little stir like you would a normal ganache. mascarpone in. You've got 250 grams. Make sure you're stirring your caramel so it doesn't catch on the bottom. God, it smells incredible. Okay, in. Okay, we have to stop somewhere. That's definitely mixed together. Quick, quick, back over here. You see how the colour's getting darker? She's getting there. Where are we at? Yeah, like 103. Nice. Clean up your mess. Okay, cling film on the surface. We are going to chill this. I'm gonna be a little cheat. I'm gonna put it in the freezer. We're getting there, we're getting there. We're at 105-ish. Back to our crumb. I've never actually made it with hand beaters before. Just should be immediately panic. All right, come back over here. We're literally almost there. Pause on the scary beaters. We're at 107, which is basically 108, so off. Off. In with 5 grams of salt. Whisk. Whisk, 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 whisk. Look at that. Look at the consistency of that. In she goes. Oh my god, look at that. So I'm just going to put cling film on the surface and let it cool to room temperature before I put it in the fridge. Because that's how you break your fridge. Your fridge isn't going to like that. I'm just going to let that cool down. Now, back to this. Okay, what I'm going to do is...
She's too afraid.
I am afraid. Chill! How is this 1? It goes up to 5. What's 5? I'm gonna try and smush some of these big clumps, but it's done what I wanted. So this, we have to chill completely. So I'm gonna put it into the freezer so it sets up really nice so that when we bake it, it stays nice and crumbly like this. It's like snow. It's already everywhere. That was a very smooth and clean process. Works a charm. Maybe this isn't what it's intended for. Okay, freezer. I'd say for like an hour to just make sure it's completely frozen. I'm gonna clean up and then we got one more thing to make. We're back. We're making the final thing, which is the cracklin for the top of the choux buns. Now I've got to make 3 different ones. A plain one, a green one, and a brown one. In this bowl, I've got 210 grams of butter and 210 grams of demerara sugar. Hello. She's got her jumper on and she wants the butter. She ate a block of butter earlier, didn't you? You ate a whole block of butter. First, I want to see what 5 looks like. It immediately smelled hot. We're gonna go blend this together, equal parts butter and demerara sugar. It's making light work of this. Then I have 240 grams of plain flour in.
I thought you lost control of it there.
Almost. Fucking hell. I want to take half of this, keep it plain, and the other half we're gonna dye green. 310 grams. I have some green food coloring. You could use natural dye. Kiwi powder's pretty good, but hey, I don't have that with me right now, do I? I have this, so I'm gonna use this. Going to transfer this Then our last one, we're essentially doing the exact same thing, except I've got 100 grams of flour and 20 grams of cocoa. So if you want to add cocoa powder, you have to reduce some of the flour because then the moisture content will be wrong. It's actually done. That's ridiculous how quick that was. And then this one, no food coloring needed. And now you've seen me do cracklin before. All we have to do is roll. Now that you've got a couple of sheets of paper, all you have to do is take, I'd say about half of each one will fit on this sheet. So you want to just smush it and roll it nice and thin. Okay, so that's about the thickness you're looking for. Kind of as thick as the sugar lets you roll it, basically. Once you've done that, we're just going to stick them all in the freezer so they've completely solidified and we can cut little rounds. So just repeat for all of your different cracklins. All of it's rolled out. I'm just going to put it in the freezer so it firms up completely. Preheat the oven and then we'll be ready to bake our choux. It's time to pipe our choux. I also have the cutters that I'm going to be using because I'm doing a double stack for all of them. So these are the sizes you want. When you pipe your choux, the cracklin you put on top, you want to be ½ centimetre wider than the choux you're piping. When it melts down and covers it perfectly. Not too big, not too small. Choux pastry. Okay, I've also got another bag I've just lined with a round nozzle. You don't have to, you could just cut the bags and pipe it like that, but this gives you cleaner, sharper piping. Just cut. I've got my ovens preheated to about 160, 170 degrees. 160, around that. We want some bigger, some smaller. These are gonna rise quite a lot, so you gotta think about that. I think I'll do 3 rows. When you pipe, you want to make sure you're about 1 centimetre above where you want to pipe. Even pressure, don't move, and then twist it off. That was perfect. Okay, just trying to ensure they're all even sizes, because otherwise they'll bake unevenly, and then that'll be shit. So we got our cracklin. So we need 9 of each. So you want to work quickly with it. It's time to go in. Now, once these are in, there's no going back.
You're not allowed to look at them, are you?
No. We just have to pray. "25 minutes, and then we'll check them." It's been about 27 minutes. I am gonna check. Whoa! Okay, that's all I needed. I'm really gonna hope they're not gonna collapse because I just did that. While we were waiting, I've just whipped up my royal icing for decoration. Another part of the decoration which I need to do now to let set is pipe the chocolate antlers. So I'm just gonna make chocolate piping bags and I'm gonna temper a little bit dark chocolate and then we'll be back. We've gotta open the ovens. This is the moment of truth. They're fucking massive. I might give them a little bit longer. These are all the big ones as well. Oh my god, pretty. Okay, yeah, a bit longer. The smaller ones, however, they might be done. Wow, look at those. Yeah, I'd say the smaller ones are done. Just give those bigger ones a little bit longer. But look at those! How hollow they are. And look, the green colour stayed. I'm pretty happy with that. We've got about 2 minutes left on the big ones, so we're just gonna get the crumb ready. Crumb. See, it's completely frozen. I'm just going to separate this into 2 trays. Okay, we're gonna switch up these trays. Switch. Oh, these are even more perfect than the other ones. What the hell? So I'm going to put these in at around 170, 60. Cook them in like 10 minutes and then we're gonna ruffle it. See how many lobs just went in there for my life. We're just gonna check our crumb quickly. Move it around. Alright. Checking 5 more minutes. What do antlers look like? Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
So our crumble is all done. You can see it's still in that nice crumbly texture. I want to just kind of go over it with my hands. And we're just going to let this cool completely. And that will be the last element of our filling. So now we'll let this cool down and we're ready to assemble. Okay, let's mix the colours. Yes, that is the next step. Brown, green, red. It's all set, our ganache. So we go into here. Oh, it's not enough. So we're doing 70 grams of additional cream. It would have been double that, but I've been foiled. When something goes wrong, what do? You blame someone who isn't here. So I blame Rory. We're gonna whip this, it's nice and thick. Our caramel. Look at that. Caramel ready. Our ganache is whipped up beautifully. I find the best way to open your choux buns is just to think of them. Bloop. And then in like that. And then can you see it, the hollow inside? But because of that cracklin, so crunchy. If you had to have a spirit animal, what would it be, Meg?
Something sleepy and small, probably like a
Something cute, like a
dormouse.
Dormouse. I was gonna say dormouse.
What about you? Honey badger?
Little honey badger biting people's ankles.
Yeah. Or Mary.
Nothing quite like her. Oh, I just got it on me. God damn it. Okay, so it is time to fill. We take our whipped ganache, you fill it, I'd say 3/4 of the way. Then we take our caramel and you fill it almost completely. I'd say that's like a teaspoon. And then I take a little bit more to kind of like seal her, like that. Harry, that looks like it's just gonna be soft, soft, soft. No, take our crumb and you smush it in. And you gotta do a fair amount of this, okay? You do about 2 teaspoons worth. And honey, that is full. Which is hefty. And then we repeat. Ladies, start your engines. What's the taste? Egg on my face.
It's on your neck.
We carry on. I've filled all of these guys that we're going to decorate completely. I'm just going to set them in the fridge, and then whatever I've got left I'm just going to fill for funsies. But if you do have, like say you have a couple hollow choux buns, they keep in the freezer really well, and then all you have to do is take them out, refresh them in the oven, I'd say 5 minutes at like 150, then fill them with ice cream. You got profiteroles. Make a little chalky sauce. Unreal. You've got a dessert ready to go, or just fill them with ice cream. And okay, it's time to decorate. We're starting with the reindeer. I'm just going to use this to stick them. Which reindeer ate all the mince pies? It's that one. Look at them, my children. I'm not giving them eyes. Is that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now lobotomize your reindeer. Do you see the vision, Meg? Are we feeling festive? Trust me, they don't need eyes. I'm literally so obsessed. That is 1 down, 2 to go. Now, I will acknowledge these snowmans aren't white. Snow thems. And you know what I say to that? Don't be colorist. So they need a nose. Hoping I can... Yes! Alright, where should their arms? Like there. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Look at them, my children. Ah, it's like a cult. Okay, okay. This might be one of my favourite things I've ever made.
This is so fun. That's Christmas trees.
They're Christmas trees. Someone who really just only likes orange, red and yellow.
Yeah.
Look at them. It's Christmas! And they are complete. Our Christmas creatures are done and they are so fucking cute. I'm very happy with how they all turned out. They're abstract, you know. You look at them, you know, these are Christmas. These are little Christmas guys. I mean, comment down below which one's your favourite. But I think this little guy, these little guys are my favourite. Nick, what's yours?
Yeah, snowmen.
They're so sweet. I think that's the one we're gonna cut in half, so I think I'm gonna go for this little guy.
He's a sacrificial lamb.
My Choux Buns are never hollow. I mean, look at that cross section. It is finally time to try. I'm gonna tear his little head. Okay. Cheers. That's just as good as I remember it being. It's so light. The caramel flavour, that like deep caramel flavour really comes through. And then you get all of that crunch from the crumb that's put in there. And that just takes it up a notch. The texture really just adds. Because of the spices that are in there, it really is giving Christmas. So what more could you want? If you don't want to make the full stack, just do like the little ones. There's like a canapé. What I have done this before is I'll do a little one with the chocolate and then I kind of pipe them to look like mini Christmas puddings. So you kind of pipe a splodge on top, pipe a little red berry, two little leaves, boom. Christmas pudding. The possibilities are really endless. This is the first Christmas episode complete. I hope you make this at home. Perfect for a Christmas dinner party. Maybe a little sweet canapé. Hey, who says? Who says you can't do that? I say you can do that. Fucking delicious.
So good.
Very Moorish. People out there, you gotta make this.
Reindeer's next for me.
She's looking for him. Good, tear his fucking head off. A success. I hope you liked. Please subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a little comment. Let me know any festive traditions, any traditional Christmas food you eat out there. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, let me know what you do celebrate. I'm an open book. I'd love to learn. Merry Christmas! And this is just the start. Let the festivities commence! Merry Christmas!